you're being blessed and are learning from this amazing series that we have. Clap your hands again to the Lord. How did we get here? And we're down to our last talk titled Already But Not Yet. And we've heard from Brother Bo that we're concluding this series with the mission statement of Jesus. And again, the background is that throughout the Old Testament, the exiles were praying for a Messiah. But their idea of a Messiah is a king who will rescue them from slavery, free them from their foreign overlords, and bring them home to the promised land. And God did answer the prayer. He sends Jesus. Kaya lang maraming na-frustrate nung dumating si Jesus kasi nga ang idea nila ng Messiah parang warrior king tulad ni King David or military general tulad ni Joshua kasi nga iniisip nila lalaban sa mga kalaban. But we've heard from Brother Bo, Jesus didn't liberate them from the Romans or the conquerors because Jesus defeated bigger enemies, sin, evil, and death. And that's why Brother Bo read to us the mission statement of Jesus. He came to proclaim good news to the poor, to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, recovery of sight for the blind, and set the oppressed free. Now, many see this as literal, because the Gospel of Luke is also regarded as the Gospel of the poor, of the oppressed, of the marginalized. But we also now realize Jesus was describing our human situation, that we're still poor. Lalo na ngayon, 100 mahigit ng kada litro ng gasolina. Talagang ang hirap ng buhay. Pero hindi lang materially. We're still poor in a lot of things. We're still in prison. Maybe not literally, but we're still in chains. Because of oppression, of corruption, or wrong beliefs. We're blinded by a wrong understanding of how Jesus will save us. And we're still oppressed. But this is the most important thing to remember and to realize. Jesus rescued us from our exile by becoming an exile too. Ang Panginoong Jesus ay nasa langit, but He was exiled. He exiled Himself to earth. Bakit? Sinundo niya tayo eh. He walked into our dark world to carry us out and bring us home. Sinundo niya tayo. Sabihin nga yan, sinundo niya tayo. Pero ito ang kailangan tanong natin. Are we home now? Ba dapat lumaya na tayo dahil dumating na ang Panginoong Jesus, namatay siya, at yan nga ang alalahanin natin next week sa mahal na araw. So dapat home na tayo, di ba? But no, we still find ourselves much in this similar situation of the Israelites before. May gera pa rin hanggang ngayon. Totoong may gera nang nagaganap. Naghanap pa rin ang kahirapan, ang sakit, ang korupsyon, ang kasamaan. So, we're still in Babylon. It's Babylon all over again. In fact, 1 Peter 2:11 describes us as foreigners and exiles. Tayo din ay mga exiles. In fact, Paul reminds us and tells us that our citizenship is in heaven. Diba nga, alam natin na tayo ay pilgrims lamang dito. Hindi tayo taga ito. Uuwi din tayo. Sabi mo nga sa katabi mo, taga-langit ka.
Taga-langit ka.
Sabi mo sa kanya, magkikita tayo doon.
See you there.
Pero huwag mo na ngayon. Medyo matagal-tagal pa. Pero ang tanong, bakit tayo nandito dito? Kung taga-langit pala tayo, anong ginagawa natin dito?
Pilgrim.
Hindi naman tayo nilagay ng Diyos dito para wala lang. What should we do while we're here in our Babylon? Are we just waiting to die so that we can go to heaven? And mind you, meron din mga ganyang spiritualidad na iniisip nila, walang kwenta ang buhay dito. At talagang wala ng pag-asa ang mundo. Talagang kailangan na dumating na ang Panginoong Jesus at matapos na lahat. Why? Because Babylon is again all around us. And then, kung iisipin nyo, di ba, we've heard this in the past talks, yung mga Jewish exiles in 537 BC, they finally got home to Jerusalem. After 70 years of being sent exiled in Babylon. Pero pagka-uwi nila, it was all bad news. We've heard that in the past talks. Bakit? Finally nakauwi sila, they found their beloved city to be in total disrepair. Their walls were broken, their gates burned, they were ransacked, di ba? Kahit umipas na yung 70 taon, ang naabutan nila sa kanilang bayan, it was in ruins. And worse, they were now a tiny province under the Persian Empire. So parang change management lang ng mga conquerors from the Babylonians to the Persians. They were still surrounded by hostile neighbors, and we learned last Sunday from our powerful youth preachers that they tried to rebuild their temple kasi doon umiikot ang kanilang buhay pananampalataya. But it was a poorer version, a smaller version, so they were frustrated. Plus injustice was reigning over their land. So they were home, but not really. Naiisip ko nga parang yung mga OFWs natin, di ba? Pag naka-10 taon na sila, 20 taon na abroad, 30 taon, lalo na rin po, marami nang uuwihan. Excited na rin sila makauwi. Pero naramdaman niyo ba yun kung kayo yun, kung may mga kilala kayo gano'n? Pag uwi nila sa Pilipinas, parang, Pilipinas na iniwanan mo. Or nasubukan nyo lang mag-reunion sa school nyo. Diba? After 30 years, 40 years, excited kang bumalik sa school mo, makita mo yung mga dati mong teachers, pati yung mga dati mong klase. Pero pagdating mo pa, iba na itsura ng school mo. Diba? Yung dating classroom mo, baka CR na ngayon, hindi ba? Tapos mga teacher mo, nasa na si Sena? Wala na, patay na sila, diba? So you're back home, pero parang hindi na. Parang iba na. O yung iba nga, hindi ko alam kung naranasan nila ito, yung umuwi ka sa probinsya mo. Diba? At nung umuwi ka na sa probinsya mo, probably after so many years, eto naman, ang nakita mo naman parang nagbago. Parang ganun pa rin. After 20 years, 30 years, excited makauwi, pero ganun pa rin. Bago na yung mayor, bago na yung kapitan, pero ganun pa rin ang kalakaran. At imbis na umunlad, nag-deteriorate pa. Alam niyo, yung ganyang depressing situation went on for centuries for the Jewish exiles because the bullies just changed faces. Di ba parang tayo na from the Spaniards, na-conquer tayo ng Americans, sa mga Hapon, and then something na hanggang ngayon, no? Ganun pa rin ang nangyayari. Until we realize that Babylon is not just a geographical place, it is a system actually built on pride and self-centeredness, and the whole world has become a dysfunctional Babylonian system. Kaya nga, anong gagawin natin? Do we just wait for a rocket ship to heaven at kumawala na tayo dito kasi kahit saan naman tayo mapunta? Or, manalig tayo at maniwala na may ginagawa ang Diyos sa present situation natin. Tingnan mo, basahin na sa 1 Peter 2:11-12. Dear friends, I urge you, as foreigners and exiles, tayo ito, ngayon na ito, hindi na yung mga Jewish ang kausap nito, to abstain from sinful desires. Ito ngayon, habang tayo naghihintay, anong gagawin natin? We abstain from sinful desires. First of all, naniniwala ko kaya pinapahintulutan tayo minsan ni Lord na dumaan sa mga exiles. Our exile sometimes is when we get sick, or when we get bankrupt, or we fall into a bad relationship. Pero minsan pag tayo nagkakaroon ng ganitong karanasan, yung tayo naharap sa ating spiritual condition. That's what happened to the Israelites. Hindi na nakita yung mga pagkakamali nila. So, what do? Live good lives. And do good deeds. Kailangan may gawin ka habang nandiyan dyan kung nasaan ka. Di ba natinig natin minsan? Ayoko na sa bayan ito. Wala nang pag-asa. Mag-a-abroad na ako. Well, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that's bad. Pero, sa nangyayari sa mundo ngayon, kahit saan pa pumunta, mahirap talaga hanap may gera. Ang solusyon ba ay umalis ka na sa bayang ito? O baka ang solusyon ay maniwala kang may ginagawa ang Diyos sa bayan natin at sumama ka sa paggawa ng isang bagong bayan. Sumama ka sa solusyon. Para halimbawa sa pamilya, pagod na ako sa pamilyang ito. Panay problema. Ayoko na. Aalis na ako. Yun ba ang maayong solusyon? Ang umalis ka? O baka ang solusyon ay manatili ka at maging bahagi ka ng kaayusan ng iyong tahanan? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Alam niyo bakit? Kasi kung kaisipan mo ay panay problema, yung mindset mo ay panay reklamo at problema, kahit saan ka pumunta ang bayan, kahit saan ka pumunta ang pamilya, dala-dala mo yung problema. Hindi yung lugar, yung kaisipan. In fact, bakit mo dala-dala yung problema? Kasi baka ikaw yung problema. Na kahit saan ka pumunta. Kaya anong sabi ni Lord? Kung nasaan ka, live good lives. Kung nasaan ka, ayusin mo ang buhay mo. At manalig kang, may ginagawa ako kung nasaan ka. God's house. We've heard from Brother Bo, is under construction. You've got to be faithful, to be patient, and you've got to be part of God's construction team. Because believe that God's will one day be completed. Aayos din yan. At paano inaayos ng Diyos? This is amazing. Revelations 21:2-3. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem. Always hear this. It's going to be a new Jerusalem. Coming down out of heaven. Can you say that? Coming down.
Coming down.
From heaven. Anong ginagawa ng Diyos? Binababa niya ang langit. Dito. Habang tayo naghihintay na pumapunta sa langit, right here and now, heaven starts. Is being constructed, prepared as a bride, beautiful dress for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people. He will dwell with them. They will be His people, and God Himself will be with them and be their God. You know, I'm really so grateful for this ongoing Bible study that we're having, because we're always being reminded to go back to the original idea, to the original plan in Genesis, in the garden. Because the Bible begins with God and humanity together in the garden. And make no mistake about it. It will end with God and humanity in full communion together in a city garden. Hindi yung exile, hindi yung gera, hindi yung mga kaguluhan ang magpapahinto sa plano ng Diyos. Because God doesn't give up on what He had made in Genesis 1. He is faithful to complete it. Kaya lang ang naging mantra natin ganito eh. Di ba, meanwhile, ang mantra natin, sige, maniniwala ako, pero tsaka na ako sasaya kapag lumaya na tayo. Tsaka na ako sasaya kapag nakapag-abroad ako. Tsaka na ako sasaya kapag na-promote ako. I will be happy when nakapag-asawa ko ng mayaman na 97 years old.
Lord.
Kung di siya mayaman, at least kamukha ni Jungkook. Pero may problema sa ganyan, I'll be happy when napag-hintay. Tanong nyo ano?
Ano?
Paano kung hindi mangyari? And we should now be mature enough to realize that not all of our dreams may happen in this life. Paano kung hindi mo nga napangasawa si Jungkook? Paano kung hindi ka na-promote? Paano kung hindi ka nakapag-abroad? Tapos namatay ka na. E di buong buhay mo, malungkot kang nag-iintay, naging frustrated ka. Kaya ang sinasabi sa iyo ng Diyos, habang naghihintay ka na darating yun, magsimula ka naging masaya. Palitan mo na yung mantra mo na, I'm happy. Ayun, yun. Yun na yun. Naalala niyo si Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Sabi nila, ililigtas kami ng Diyos. Pero kahit hindi kami iligtas, ayon sa gustuhan namin, magiging faithful pa rin. Magiging masaya pa rin kami na maglilingkod sa Diyos. Did we learn this as kids? Paalala ko sa inyo, ha? The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make others happy and to bring a little heaven down here.
Yes.
Kaya sabi nila, everything that we need to know, we should have learned in kindergarten. Noon pa sinasabi na sa atin, and believe again that number one, you're living both in Babylon and in God's house. Because God is transforming our Babylon into His house. Number two, God's house is still under construction. And you're part of God's construction team. And number three, believe that one day God's house will be completed already, but not yet. Kaya ang pinakamahalagang mensahe nito, magpasundo ka kay Lord. Iniisip nyo kasi kagad, mamamatay. Hindi. Magpasundo ka mula sa iyong kawalan ng pag-asa. Ha? Magpasundo ka mula sa iyong maling paniniwala. Magpasundo ka ngayon na kay Lord sa isang bagong buhay. Amen? I'm going to make this slide. And I hope in this last illustration, you try to encapsulate the thought of what we've had through this series. Alam niyo, sinabi natin, hanggang ngayon, nakakulong tayo. Mga preso. Pero anong ginawa ni Jesus nung siya'y bumaba? Dala niya yung susi. In fact, siya yung susi. Binuksan niya yung kandado ng rehas. At binuksan na niya ang kulungan. Malala ka na. Pero hindi pa eh. Yan yung sinasabi ni Gerard Voss na already redeemed but not yet. Tanong niyo bakit?
Bakit?
Pinalaya ka na ni Jesus. Binuksan na niya ang preso. Pero ikaw, kailangan ka lumabas ng kulungan. Are you following?
Yes.
Pero marami ayaw lumabas. Unang dahilan, hindi ka makapaniwala. Paano akong lalaya? Ang bigat ng kasalanan ko. I deserve to be in prison. Hindi ko deserve na makalaya. Pagbabayaran ko ito. We cannot comprehend the unfathomable mercy of God. Hindi natin matanggap. Pangalawa, ayaw na nating lumabas. Nasanay na tayong nakakulong. Dito na ako. Okay na ako dito. Magdudusan na lang ako dito. Hindi ko alam kung ano ang nandun sa labas eh. We got used to being in prison. Pero si Jesus, hindi siya papayag. Kaya binuksan na niya, pero ayaw mo pang lumabas. Alam niyo gagawin ni Jesus? Papasukin niya ang preso mo. Sa kadiliman at sa kawalan mo ng pag-asa, papasok siya. Kakaibiganin ka niya. Yayakapin ka niya. Susunduin ka niya. At ilalabas ka niya. Pero teka, meron pa rin isang sitwasyon dito eh. Kwento din ni Brother Boyan eh. Na pwedeng lumabas ka na. Ang saya mo nung una, pero biglang naalala mo, ba't nga ba ako nakulong? Sino ba yung mga nangpaki sa akin? Ha? Kaya biglang nag-isip kang gumanti. Biglang bumalik ka sa masama mong ugali. You know why? Ask me why. You can take a man out of prison. You can take a man out of his Babylon. But you may not take the prison out of his mind. Babylon is still in his mind. Kaya gumanti. Bumalik sa dating ugali. Nanuntok. Nanapa. Baka pinatay pa niya. Ipag bumalik ka dyan, naku, delikado. Bakit? Alam niyo bakit? Huhulihin ka. Bawal yan eh. At bumalik ka dyan, ikukulong ka ulit. Kaya yan ang point. Masyadong realistic. Pang-Oscar Awards. Yan ang kwento natin eh. Kahit nakakalaya na tayo, pero andito pa rin sa kaisipan natin yung Babylon, mabalik tayo. O si Jesus, hindi talaga siya umayag. Kaya kahit pa balik-balik ka doon, balik-balik ka pa rin niya susunduin. Bubuksan ulit ang preso. Papasukin ka na ulit. Pagka balik-balik sa'yo ni Jesus, He won't give up one day. Dito pa lang, lalaya una ang iyong isip, ang iyong puso sa tunay na pagtanggap kay Jesus. Hanggang sa tunay ka na niyang dalhin sa iyong bagong bahay. Dahil ang iyong bagong bahay ay ang iyong bagong buhay kasama si Jesus. Someday, we will all be fully home. Thank you. God is Christian. Sana lang ang dali na ganun lang ang ginawa ni Jesus, na binuksan lang niya yung preso. But actually, He did that by giving His life on the cross. That's what we're going to remember next week. Jesus suffered and died para ipaalala sa iyo na hindi yan ang bahay mo. Hindi ka sa krus mananatili. Sinubukan niya upang sabay kayong lumabas sa kanyang resurrection. So come, let us worship our God who will not give up and who will bring us